My name is Ben Zhao. My science fair project is about how earthquake asperities relate to the reoccurrence of earthquakes. My variables for this experiment were independent variables were clay hardness, and my dependent variables were debris, time taken until 1 centimeter movement, and time until no breakage. To run the experiment, I made 3 acrylic boxes by cutting and gluing sheets into 5x3, 7x3, and 5x7 inch pieces. Then I shaped red clay, Scoopy Classic clay, into mountains with 5x3 inch bases and baked them at 130 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. This was done 3 times for the red clay. Now for the white clay mountains, I used the same shaping processes. However, I used air dry clay and I also used Scoopy Classic clay. I shaped the air dry clay the same way as the red clay, and so did I with the Scoopy Classic clay. For the air dry clay, I let the clay sit around for 1 day. And for the Scoopy Classic clay, I baked one of the mountains for 90 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, and the other at 130 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Then I checked the hardnesses using the Mohs hardness scale to find the hardness of each different clays, which this hardness directly correlates to the asperity strength, as uh, my clay mountains represent asperities in the real world. Then I glued the red clay to the top of the box, and I placed the white clay inside. I added a 2,000-gram weight to the top box, and I waited until the clay moved 1 centimeter from the initial contact point, since the 2,000-gram weight was pushing down on the boxes, which caused the boxes to move down. And I recorded any clay breakage, and I recorded how long it took to move that 1 centimeter away from the initial contact point. I kept going until no more breaks happened, and then I performed statistical analysis between the different hardnesses of clay and how they compare to each other. I created graphs that showed the relationship between the different variables that I stated at the beginning. I found that an increase in asperity strength, or hardness, leads to an increase in the recurrence of earthquakes. Additionally, larger fractures do not shorten the lifespan of an earthquake. The range of breakage within each hardness was relatively small due to the small scale of this experiment, which resulted in less variability. In real-world conditions, however, a larger range of data would be expected, and also a lower R-squared value, because the breakage patterns would be less consistent due to the larger scale of the experiment. And in the larger scale experiment, there could be one big breakage that broke off a lot of stuff that could change the way the graphs looked. I also performed t-tests between the different hardnesses for the amount of breakage.